Yo, welcome back to the Digital Creators Podcast. Today we're in the studio with Jack Crumblish. Welcome, Jack.
Thanks.
Jack Crumblish is a Perth-based photographer, mainly focused in skateboarding. Jack grew up skating in Scotland before moving to Perth at the age of 14, where he continued to skate and eventually picked up a camera. He began shooting his friends, which eventually led to adverts and other commercial work. Jack likes to capture the movement and excitement of the tricks that he's shooting using long exposure, close-up and fisheye. In this episode, we're going to talk about Jack's skateboarding photography, comparing skateboard culture in Scotland and Perth, his inspirations for his work, and more. Yeah, because I saw your work pop up on my For You page or whatever it's called, the feed of Instagram, and yeah, it's probably some of the coolest skateboard photography I've seen in Perth. And yeah, as someone who skated a lot when I was a kid, it's really cool to see how you capture stuff because it makes it look like it's kind of like these international, makes just a regular skate spot look just so much cooler with the tricks and everything.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So how did you get into it? I guess you grew up in Scotland, so you used to skate in Scotland as well?
Yeah. I can't even remember when I started skating. I was probably 10 or something.
Yeah.
I think I got a board for Christmas. I got a WWE board from
Like a Kmart board.
Yeah, from the sports shop or whatever in Scotland. And then just somehow started going down the park and got better boards and yeah.
And what's the skate scene like in Scotland? Is it a lot of people skate? Is there a lot of skate parks or a lot of street spots?
There's nowhere near as many parks in Scotland as there are in Australia or even Perth. They're a lot more spaced out, but now with the amount of new parks popping up here, it seems like there's one every 5 minutes. They're a lot more spaced out in Scotland, and it seems like they're a lot rougher.
In Scotland?
Yeah, just the concrete corroding and stuff with the weather.
I can just imagine what I'm imagining is it being harder to do street skating in Scotland because I'm just imagining cobbled roads
and stuff. Yeah, there are a few kind of famous spots around Glasgow where I'm from in Scotland. But it's all pretty kind of crusty.
Yeah.
But I haven't been back and skated there for a while, so I don't know what's new there.
And what's the skate community like? Is there a lot of hype? Is there a lot of magazines, a lot of brands kind of looking being based there, a lot of skate shops there, or it's not?
Yeah, there's a few UK, pretty big UK board brands and stuff, and not that many skate shops, but it seemed, I don't know, I'd say a lot fewer than here.
Yeah,
there seems a lot more. I think it's just the weather here and stuff. A lot of people are more inclined to get out and do something.
Yeah, the Perth weather definitely helps people get outdoors and skate and stuff. But if you compare Perth to the States or I think we do have a decent skate culture here, but it's harder to do street skating here. I think compared to the US, there's obviously very good spots over there, nice clean stair sets, and there's
I think here once you've kind of skated everything, I don't know, it seems in the US there's just new spots always popping up, whereas here it feels like we go to the same spots kind of every weekend or but
I think because maybe Perth grows much slower as a city that's why there's not like that many new spots. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
they're probably getting onto it at this point as well, that when they do make some sort of new building, they're straight onto the skate stoppers
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Or like there's a few new spots popped up and there's like security always there because they just know it's like a good spot.
yeah,
So there's a new spot in the city that's like a kind of curved, like almost like a wave, but it's like kind of cobble quarter pipe.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like a security guard there all the time, and as soon as you try and skate it, he's straight out.
Whereabouts is that?
Up on St. George's Terrace.
Yeah.
Like towards up the top end of St. George's Terrace. It's where do you know the big red
Yeah, is it that
sculpture?
sculpture? Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
that
a
one.
new.
Oh, there's a new one.
Yeah, they've like changed all around that sculpture.
Okay, because I know that sculpture's been there for a while.
Yeah, the sculpture's still there. They've just changed what was underneath it. There used to be kind of like small little tight quarters there, but now it's like a big wave thing they built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think everyone's kind of trying to get a trick on it.
Yeah. So, where have you been? Where have you and like your skater friends and stuff been skating mostly? Like, what sort of spots? Maybe I'm just checking out your Instagram now, or maybe you can talk about some like recent shoots that you've done.
Yeah. I've kind of like been going out with two kind of separate groups. I've got like all my friends that I kind of grew up skating in Perth with.
Yeah.
And then I've been going out with like the Beyond skate team a bit, and there's a couple of different people like film and video parts and stuff, so I'll like go out on like day missions with them and stuff like that. But if it's
that's all right.
If we're going out with just my friends, well, usually it's like curbs and like weird stuff that we usually find. There's a couple of spots, and like we've got a DIY spot in like East Perth.
Yeah.
Where a lot of my friends have been building a lot of stuff there.
Do you think it's harder to skate street in Scotland or Perth? In terms of like people onto security, or in terms of like
security?
Yeah.
Like I've only skated street in Scotland like a few times.
Yeah.
And the spots kind of seem pretty scarce. Yeah. And but there doesn't seem like there's a lot of security. Whereas here it all kind of seems like newer buildings.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of security.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're finding better spots here, but more security.
Yeah.
But again, like I haven't skated in Scotland for like years. So
did you start photography in Scotland as well?
I did, but it was when I was back for a year. When it's like 2018. I went back for a year, and at that point, like my knee, like I messed up my knee a few years prior and never really got it fixed. And was trying to skate a bit, but like could not skate the way I used to.
Yeah.
And was kind of just like bummed out on it. One of my friends here like introduced me to like he shoots a lot of film and stuff. Just like everything. He's a BMXer, but he doesn't really shoot BMXing that much with like film, just like everything. And I think he gave me a film camera, and then when I was going back to Scotland, because me and my partner were going traveling, so I took a lot of like film photos on that trip. And then one of my best friends back there, he was shooting like on DSLRs.
Yeah.
And he kind of like pushed me to get a DSLR. And then I realized like I got one, and then it was just like a kind of way to get out, still skate.
Yeah.
And like be out with everyone, but not have to be trying tricks.
Yeah. How did you hurt your knee?
That was when I can't even remember what year it was, but I went back for my big brother's wedding back to Scotland.
Yep.
Just back at like a local park, and just tried to like a no comply 180 down like a tiny little quarter.
Yeah.
Like kind of went to kick out halfway through, so was spinning and then kicked my board away, landed, and like my body kept kind of spinning, and it just like crunched my knee.
Twisted it.
Yeah, but I was like stupid and kind of younger, and at the time never went and got it checked or anything. And then it was only like over the years just noticing it like pop out sideways, and I've definitely like torn something in it, but just from working so much and kind of I put off a lot of stuff. So if I go get it checked, then I'll probably find out that there is something really serious wrong with it, and then I have to go get the surgery.
Yeah.
And then I've just been kind of
putting it to the side. Yeah. Are you like full-time photographer at the moment, or?
No, I'm an apprentice bricklayer. So it's only really like weekends and but I recently bought a house. I'm trying to renovate that. So the photography there's been a lot less photography recently.
Yeah. Have you found like balancing like your the bricklaying with the photography, like skateboard photography? Is it easy, or you're struggling to find time to do it? Or
yeah, I'm kind of struggling right now, because it's just like I work till 3:30 every day, and then like I'm at the age like I'm 29 soon, and all my friends that skate are all kind of the same age, so everyone's kind of working, so it's usually just weekends. But trying to renovate a house as well, even the weekends are kind of starting to get taken up.
Yeah.
So, it's just trying to find the odd time when I can get out. And
have you had your work published in any magazines or anything like that?
I've had one in a magazine, Confusion magazine. It was for like one of my good friends here. He's got a board brand.
Yep.
Called Bellyful, and they got an ad in Confusion Mag, which is like an international magazine. But that was really the only one so far.
Where's Confusion Mag based?
I think it might be like Germany.
Okay,
or
cool.
Somewhere in Europe.
Yeah,
but it's or I'm sure it's somewhere in Europe, but like I know it's quite big in like America and Australia and stuff as well. But I think I've got one coming up that should be in Slam magazine.
Oh wow, cool. Who's can you give us some insight into that or not?
I don't know. I forgot. But yeah, well, like it's.
I can just see, or you maybe can just describe the trick, or on. I don't know how like.
Yeah, I don't know how like. I didn't actually talk to him about this.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's for like a truck company, like an American truck company.
Oh, okay, wow.
Which is like a kind of big deal. It's cool. It seems kind of legit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, cool. So I'm sure we can name the brand.
Oh yeah, it's Thunder.
Oh, Thunder Trucks. Yeah. Oh wow. And it's with a local skater?
Yeah, it's with a guy. He's from Perth, but he's been over to America and stuff quite a bit. And
oh yeah.
He skates for like an American company.
Oh, like he's on the full team and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Sean Parker.
Sean Parker. Oh, yeah. Cool. Oh, is he based in Perth still?
Yeah. He lives up north, kind of near me.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, he's crazy good.
Yeah.
So is what team is he on?
He's on Primitive.
Primitive.
I think he gets shoes from Adidas.
Yeah.
Thunder Trucks. Recta Wheels.
Wow.
Like,
is it possible for a skater to live in Perth and like do full-time skating? Do you think?
Not sure. Like, I don't know of any that are just like
straight skating. Yeah.
Straight skating without. Like, I think Sean might even have another job, or and he's got a lot of companies behind him.
Yeah.
But like, I know there's a couple of guys that like run brands, work in a skate shop or something.
Yeah. And do it that way. Yeah.
Their kind of career is like based around skateboarding
Yeah.
in different ways. But
Yeah.
I think it's pretty hard without going to America or
Yeah.
what to kind of.
Yeah. I think to be full time, you have to be just pro.
Yeah, you kind of have to be like right in amongst it. And
Yeah.
I think if you're kind of there, they're pushing you and like.
Yeah, but to live here and do it, it's like pretty tough, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but that's still pretty cool that there are skaters here that are on like these international teams.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, Sean definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. And have you got plans? Maybe do you ever want to go to America and like try shoot with these big skaters and that sort of thing?
I probably kind of past it at this point. Like there's, no, I'm kind of happy with just like
doing it for fun.
Yeah, for fun. It gets me like still out with everyone.
Yeah,
I kind of get to like, I can kind of pressure my friends into doing the tricks that I want to shoot.
Yeah.
It's kind of, there's a lot of pressure when people are doing big stuff and you have to get that one shot.
Yeah.
Like, you have to kind of, it's kind of hard to like explain, but like when you're just doing it with your friends and stuff and like there's a lot more room to be kind of creative and like kind of shoot the way you want to shoot.
Do it from different angles, use different lighting and like have your say. But I guess if it's for a big brand or a big, like there's a lot more at stake over there.
Like for the skater as well, they don't want to be doing it over and over just so you can get the one shot that looks good, if you know what I mean. So you kind of have to shoot it like a certain way that's going to just get it simply kind of get the trick.
Yeah.
I've found that anyway.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can quickly pull up some of your shots over here. What have you been shooting with like lately? What's your sort of setup?
I've got a Canon 6D Mark II.
Yep.
I've got a Canon fisheye.
Yep.
And then I just use like two Godox flashes.
Oh yeah.
Just like speed lights.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of like lightweight, compact kind of setup. It's pretty handy. Maybe
you could talk us through some of your favorite shots that you've got lately and the story behind them.
Yeah.
You can even just have a look here. Can't figure out how to put it on the screen, but
yeah. Like that one I was pretty stoked on.
Oh yeah, so this is,
a lot of people seem to like that one.
So that's the shot there. So talk us through that. It looks like a big pipe.
Yeah.
Something like, looks like in Mundaring or something like that.
Yeah. It's I can't remember exactly which dam it is, but it is like out kinda, I don't know if it is Mundaring.
Somewhere around Mundaring.
Somewhere like one of those kind of big dams. And that is like at the bottom of the dam.
Yep.
There's just like that full pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a bank next to it.
Yeah. It's
like a perfect spot, but they're doing I'm probably gonna like incriminate myself here.
Oh yeah.
They're like
oh, you don't have to say the location or whatever.
Yeah, they're doing like work on the place right now, so everything's shut down there. But like we managed to like park up the road. I think the dam was like shut that day.
Yeah.
And we like kind of veered off, went up a path and went through the bushes and had to hide from the camera and all that to get in there. But we got in there, we managed to skate it for like a good half an hour or something.
Just like pumping up and down.
Yeah. he managed to get like kind of oververt on it. And that thing is so slippy as well.
Yeah.
It's just so dusty that like your wheels just want to shoot out as soon as you try and get any sort of height on it.
Yeah. And that was for bellyful skateboards?
Yeah, so that's just like one of my friends that skate for Bellyful.
Yep.
Dave.
And it was just kind of like, I guess you're doing it for the enjoyment of taking the photo and like seeing the trick, and he's doing it for the enjoyment of like the trick as well. But is he also on the Bellyful team?
Yeah, he's on the Bellyful team. And like the guy that runs Bellyful is like my first ever friend in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Like we're one of my best friends. So like anytime I get a shot of like one of the guys that skate for his board company, like
this is the brand, guys. Bellyful, check him out. So that's his Perth based skate brand. Looks like very like nice wide. They got some like wide retro sort of shapes.
Yeah. So like Jack, the guy that runs it, only skates like 10-inch plus boards.
Really?
Like I think he's got like a 13-inch board.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ridiculous, but he loves it.
And like rides like big wheels.
Yeah. But he like hand shapes most of the boards himself and screen prints it all by hand.
Oh wow. So he hand shapes the boards?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like,
so it's made in Perth?
Oh yeah, it's made out of his garage in Perth.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So he's like, he's making them, he's skating them, he's started this brand. And is it available in like skate shops and stuff as well?
No, but if you go, I think they've got a shop on the link in his bio on Instagram, maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, he seems to kind of, if he brings out a run of boards, they kind of sell out pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just checking out now. So, there's a YouTube page. Can't see a shop there, but probably there's a website.
Or maybe just message him and see what he's got.
Yeah, sick. So not available in the shop.
No.
In like in store, but
I know you can buy them.
You can buy them.
Message him, I'm sure he'll tell you how you can.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you know if a lot of like say the Perth skateboard brands here, are they made in Perth, or a lot of them kind of from overseas, maybe China or whatever?
I'm not actually too sure. No. I don't think there are only really a couple of Perth brands that I can kind of think of, like GMTA and Panda, which is two people that I'm like friends with as well, Ben and Karma. And I'm not sure
where they're made,
but yeah.
Is there a Perth skate magazine that you know of? Like one sort of like Slam or
no, there used to be a couple of like little kind of zines going around. Like there was Staple.
Yeah,
Mag
actually I have a couple of those. That was so good.
Yeah, that was so good. But no, there hasn't been anything for a few years now, I think.
Yeah.
I did have some idea a few years ago to start something, but time again.
Yeah, I'm trying to start a magazine with the interviews for this, but it's a lot of time to put together a magazine.
Yeah. I'm
probably going to try crowdfund or something like that, where if you donate, you get like the magazine as well, something like that. But yeah, it's, I know, pretty hectic to put something like that together.
I kind of realized that like I could just throw a load of pictures into something, but like the writing articles or something part of it, like struggle to speak in front of a camera. Come up
no, that's true. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know, with mine, I'm going to at least use the text.
Yeah.
Like I've got the interviews ready, but I need to like put time into making it like look really cool.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Like if I was going to do it, I'd kind of want to do like something good.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just don't have the time to like really do something good. So don't want to kind of just half-ass something.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of show you some of these shots that you've got, and then maybe you can talk about it. So this is looks like tray flip down a gap. Is that in Perth as well?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like That's a decent gap. Reminds me of the Sheckler. The Sheckler gap is like the Perth edition of the Sheckler gap. But no, that's insane. So is that somebody's house? Like it looks like it's out the back of somebody's house into a car park.
I think that might be like a dental place or something like that. And it's
sketchy run up, like on bricks.
Yeah, it's like brick pavers.
So talk us through how you shot it and what went down. Did you get it pretty quick? Is his name Flynn?
Yeah, that's Flynn. He skates for like DC.
Oh wow.
DGK. That was actually for a DC interview.
Damn, these are some big brands that are like sort of coming to Perth and sponsoring Perth skaters. That's pretty cool.
I think a lot of it is through like project distribution.
Yeah,
which is like I think it's maybe over East or something, but they distribute all the kind of bigger American companies to Australian shops and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of hook a lot of people up and then kind of connect them through that with the bigger brands.
Yeah.
Like, Flynn's on DGK and DC. Yeah,
he's definitely, like just from the trick, definitely like a DGK steezy with a tray flip there.
Yeah. That was for, they had that up on the DC Australia website or something.
Oh, cool.
They had an interview with him. It's a good interview. And they had pictures some pictures I shot, and there's another photographer, Tommy, we call him, but and he shot some of the pictures for that interview as well. But yeah, that was just like a lot of different kind of weekends out shooting different stuff for it. And
so can you just talk us through this one in particular? Like, did he get it pretty quick, or it was like struggle to get it? And
no.
Did you have to move around different angles, everything like that?
So he got it pretty quick. As far as I can remember, it was like maybe less than 10 shots or something.
Yeah. Wow.
It was it was a struggle to kind of light it. I remember that because I had to put a flash in behind the fence.
Yeah.
Like in the garden, because I had the two flashes at the front and they were lighting him up, but you couldn't see the kind of gap in between where he's going from to like over the fence.
Yeah.
So that was a weird one. I've never had to like specifically put a light just to show like randomly in between where he's going to show that there is a gap there.
Yeah.
And then have to kind of, I think another guy, Jack, the filmer, was filming from up the top with fisheye as well.
Yeah.
So trying to kind of dodge around him and
okay.
But yeah, kind of all just worked out.
You got it like very enough. Very sharp. No, the composition is very good. It's I don't know if you try and get the composition like that good, but if because I'm a photographer as well myself. Oops, blurry there. But yeah, if you see the tree behind him is like perfectly behind him, so you got the eyes drawing it in there, so all the lines of the tree are going towards his head, and then you've got the leading lines down the alleyway. So you've got all these lines. It's just like, really super well shot.
Yeah, I just remember like as soon as that was like the first place I like went to, because with like skate photography, you always want to be like in front or like their front facing side, like never shoot it from the back kind of thing. So that's kind of naturally where you would want to shoot it.
Yeah.
And I just remember like as soon as that's always like the first place you'll go, and as soon as I got there I was like, oh wow, this like works out perfect with like the line going away from him and the tree behind him. Yeah, it was kind of like a happy accident that it just worked out perfect that way. And
are you shooting like full brightness with the flash, like 101?
Yeah.
And what kind of shutter speed are you working with?
I think that was like, what is it? I think it was like 250.
Yeah.
like something like that, like what I was saying earlier about like I really didn't want to like miss that one, so I'm trying to shoot it as fast as like my flashies will kind of, or the camera will pick up the flashes.
Yeah.
As opposed to something like on a curb that my friend's going to do a lot of times that I can like mess about with like longer exposures and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get that one as like sharp as possible.
And whereabouts was this one shot? What in area of Perth?
It's in kind of like West Perth area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then can you talk us through this one as well? It's like a front crook on the it's like in the city of Perth.
It's a switch crook. That's on St. George's Terrace again. That's Flynn again. And that was for the same DC article.
Yeah.
They ended up not using that one. They used Tom, the other photographer, had shot it before, but from like a different angle.
Yeah, like across the street or something like that.
No, I just shot it same fisheye, but like from the bottom of the stairs, so you could see the big Central Park sign.
Yeah,
and it was at nighttime and the sign was lit up, so
okay,
it was a sick picture he took. And they ended up using that one. But yeah, that was just we were out one day and we were kind of near that spot, and Flynn was like, "Oh, why don't we just try and?"
Oh, so you're just kind of like hanging out, like they're not planned most of the time. You're just out with a camera, and
sometimes, like, especially like someone like Flynn or like Sean or someone, like they'll have an idea of like tricks that they want to get for like a video part or for like a specific ad or something like that. And it's always kind of like good, like worth it tricks.
Yeah, if you're hanging out with like good skaters.
Yeah. But that he had already landed like a few times.
Yeah, so it's just kind of easy.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, let's just go shoot that one again and see what it looks like from the other angle." Flynn actually had the idea to shoot it from that angle as well.
Yeah,
because like naturally you would want to shoot it the way Tom did, like down in the bottom with the big Central Park sign in the background
from the front, but you shot it from the back.
So I went to the same spot as Tom, and like even we shot a picture that way, and I was pretty stoked on it. But then Flynn was the one that was like, "Why don't you try and shoot it from behind?" And then that one turned out way better than the one that I shot from the front.
And is that with a fisheye as well?
Yeah, that was with a fisheye.
Oh, cool. And then can you talk us through this one? I think I know where that spot is in the city. You can see it there, guys.
That's kind of near the telethon building. We call that spot the telethon.
Near Optus Stadium, is it? Sort of.
Yeah, around that area.
It's crazy. Did he ollie the whole thing, or did he land on the grass?
He landed in the fake grass.
Yeah,
but it just started raining as well, so it's
slipped down.
But Sean had already filmed that as well. Yeah, like for his part.
Crazy pop.
Yeah, he's got insane pop. He can just ollie over anything.
Yeah, which was that? You said you had some video clips on your phone. Which photo would that go with?
It's like a tree. That one. I've got.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So this is this in Perth as well?
Yeah.
For some reason it doesn't look like Perth. I think because the shots are just so good that it looks like it's done for like a magazine in the US or something like that. Like it makes it look different. But talk us through this one, Wally off a tree.
Yeah, so that one, I'll pull the clip up after. That one, I think that was like the third time he had done that trick. I think he went on his own and like filmed it. He might have filmed it with just like his phone on the ground or something on his own. And then I seen the footage of it. That's like another one of my good friends. And I was like, oh, that would look cool in a picture. We should go shoot that. So then he landed it that day, but it was during the day and like the sun was just casting crazy shadows and stuff. And the picture, I don't know what happened. The flashes just never like, I don't even know what happened to it, but he was just like a blur.
Yep.
And it always seems to kind of happen like sun out, middle of the day kind of shots. I kind of hate
Yeah,
taking.
yeah, because your flash has to compete with the sun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I always prefer like a cloudy day or like a nighttime or something. But yeah, the picture just never turned out cool. And then my other friend who has a clothing brand, Velvet, he wanted to get some, like he made that jumper, or like his company makes the jumper that he's wearing in the picture. So he wanted to get like a few tricks of John wearing some of the clothes. So we just had the idea to go back because we never used the other picture. So we just went back and shot that one at nighttime. And it turned out 10 times better than the other one. Yeah. Pretty stoked with how that one came out.
So why did you compose it like that, and what kind of like drew you to that
well,
shot?
Like, so the kind of like there's like unwritten rules of like skate photography of like show where they're coming from, show where they're landing, show like the whole trick. I was kind of bummed that you couldn't see where he was coming from apart from working out the direction.
Yeah.
But like you can't see where there's almost like a little kind of kicker because the roots have pulled up the concrete.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it's like
I guess you're not really thinking about it when you're there.
No,
but
you don't. It's more like a.
Did you choose that angle right away, or did you have to do it a few times?
I maybe tried to shoot it from a bit further back to try and show the where he's taken off from.
Oh, you try to shoot it from behind, or
Like maybe a bit more to the left just to try and get a bit of the car park where he's coming from into it. And it just was too far behind him, like just wasn't coming out right.
Yeah.
So I kind of moved around, shot it this way, but like I really like the yellow poles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, something about the
way.
yellow, the like consistency of the yellow poles, and then in the gap there's like some yellow as well.
Yeah. And then like the leaves off the tree were all yellow as well, and like so I tried to get some of the yellow pole in it, the yellow off the tree, it all just like.
And that's is that edited in Lightroom or?
Yeah, I've edited that in Lightroom.
Oh, that's cool.
It seems like kind of most of my pictures, like I'm not a technically good photographer or anything. I feel like I kind of learn something every time I go out to shoot a picture. So it all just kind of seems like happy accidents most of the time.
Oh yeah. And you've used some, like, most of the time it's like sharp shots. This one's also really good as well. Like, I like how you've captured suburbia in this one. It's like a front crook or something. So whereabouts is that, and what happened with that one?
That is around like Korean area.
Yeah.
And that was just a spot that popped up, and it kind of got like everyone was going there for a while.
Oh yeah.
And that day the Beyond team were going there to. I think they were filming a video at the time.
Yeah.
And they'll usually all just go to like one spot. Everyone kind of gets a trick, and then it goes into like their video part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that day, everyone kind of got a trick, and that just happened to be the one that I liked the most.
Yeah,
that I shot that.
So
day.
sometimes it's not even like the craziest trick; it's just like the one that comes out.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, I'll usually kind of send whatever I got from the day to the people, and then like I'll like keep whatever I want back, or like I'll send them out and be like, "You all right if I post this or whatever?" Yeah, and that one, I just like you said, like kind of suburbia. I like the way it's kind of like a contrast to just see like houses and stuff, and then like a skateboarder doing something.
Yeah, it's different from just those close up kind of action shots.
Yeah,
it's more of like you can almost like frame this. It's more about the landscape in a way.
Yeah,
and then there's like this trick.
I kind of get into like rhythms where I get too kind of comfortable shooting like fisheye pictures or something as well. and then people they'll be like really into it and be like, oh, you shoot really close fisheye pictures. And then that kind of pushes me away from it almost, because I don't want to like just shoot that.
Box yourself in.
Yeah. It's like, it's exciting to shoot fisheye pictures and like up close, kind of long exposure. Like, I think it shows a lot of like kind of excitement in a picture. Sometimes kind of long lines can feel a bit stale, but then sometimes it like that just wouldn't have looked right fisheye. And yeah, I just like looking down the hill and then there's another hill going up with houses on it. It just, I don't know, worked out cool.
Is there one thing you're looking for specifically with a skateboard, and that you're like, okay, that's the shot? Like what speaks to you?
Not really. Kind of like, it just depends what the spot is. Like, I'll kind of have an idea. Like, as soon as you see a spot, I've kind of got an idea like how to shoot something on it. But no, like just I kind of figure it out as I'm going, and then hopefully sometimes they don't land it straight away, and then I can kind of tweak some things and then get something I like. Sometimes I'll shoot 10 pictures of the attempts.
Yep.
And then they'll land a couple. And then I think the last one I got is like the one. And then when I go back and look at it, it turns out that something cool, something weird has happened like 3 back.
Yeah.
That I end up liking way more than the one that I think at the time that was the one. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess with your shots, usually if it's something that I guess you're always trying to make the gap look bigger or the stairs look bigger, sort of intensify the shot normally.
Yeah, normally that's kind of like, I guess that's why fisheye started kind of coming into skate photography.
Yeah.
Was to kind of over exaggerate the size of stuff or like the length of stuff.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I don't normally kind of use it that way. It's normally, I don't know. Maybe it just because the people I'm shooting, like, we're not kind of pros in America jumping down stupid stair sets. It's a lot of kind of like up close, like there's a lot of curbs and stuff and wall rides and stuff like that. So
are you because you shoot a lot of technical skaters, but also a lot of kind of like people doing old school sort of tricks as well. A lot of bonelesses, wall rides, hand plants. Are you a fan of kind of the retro skate style?
Yeah. When I was skating a lot, it was a lot of like skate parks. Growing up, we never really went street skating that much. It was normally like go to a park at the weekend, get the bus and the train to a park and stuff. So kind of grew up skating like mini ramps and balls and stuff. So I was always kind of drawn to that. And then when you're kind of doing those tricks in skate parks, when you get into the street, you kind of adapt those tricks. So it's all bonelesses and like wall rides and stuff. So I was kind of naturally drawn to that, but when I was younger, I never really took interest in like stair sets or ledges or anything. But kind of the older I get, I guess I'm like appreciating it more and just hanging out with the people that like the Beyond team or like Sean or Flynn or something. Like I'm really like appreciating the like technical kind of side of street skating.
And who are your inspirations? Do you look at other skate photographers or magazines or like what? Do you have inspirations in that sense? Like, because I mean, there are photographers that don't use a lot of flash. There's photographers that use a lot of flash, close up and wide. Like,
I think like looking at skate magazines when I was growing up and stuff a lot. There was a lot of like, I was more a fan of like the pictures and didn't take notice of who the photographers were and stuff. But like looking back, like there's the classic like photographers like Grant Britton and Atiba and even like Spike Jones and stuff. And I can, like, some pictures I shoot now, I'll kind of like look back on older pictures from like the late 80s or like early 90s or something and be like, oh, that'd be cool to kind of like do something like that. So I do that quite often.
Yeah. So you're looking at kind of older mags from like 90s.
Yeah.
Man, would you say you're mostly inspired by sort of 90s shots or
kind of early 90s,
early
late
90s?
80s?
It's crazy. I have this conversation with like a lot of creators in every industry, all about the 90s, like in fashion, in design, it's something about the era, like everyone's drawn back to it.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I was born in like 94, so I don't really remember the 90s that much, but like early 2000s, but like, I don't know. I've got two older brothers as well, so I kind of got hand-me-downs of all their stuff and from the 90s and stuff,
Yeah.
so I do have a kind of nostalgic
Connection
to like the 90s. But yeah, I feel like I've met a lot of people that are kind of have the same thing.
Even if you look at Gen Z or the style of Gen Z, it's now like they're adopting stuff from the 90s.
The 90s and even like early 2000s as well.
Yeah, 2000s as well. Yeah, true. On like a separate topic, but it's something I'm sort of interested in. You're a creative who's actually bought their own house, which there's a lot of creatives who maybe they listen to the podcast or they've been on the podcast, and we kind of maybe we're pursuing our passion in a creative field, but either, you know, it's pretty hard to, I think, in any creative field to sort of make it with your one profession, or maybe people are balancing jobs.
Yeah.
And then doing their creative stuff on the side. What was your sort of journey to owning your own house as a creative person? How did you manage that? How did you do it? People want to know.
Sorry to say, but like kind of nothing to do with my creative photography or anything. Like for like
maybe it kept you sane.
yeah. Well, that is definitely. I think that's a perfect way to put it. No, like growing up, I never had like, I'm not like an ambitious person.
Yep.
Well, like I'm trying to be more kind of do more for myself. Like growing up, I like never got like a car license till it was like a few years ago. Had a load of different jobs, like couldn't keep anything down. Never did an apprenticeship when I was younger or anything. And then last few years just decided like I gotta kind of do something.
Yeah.
Went and I was labouring for bricklayers, and then I got the opportunity to do an apprenticeship. Decided it was time to get my car license, and then meeting my partner.
So you only got your license like a few years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
Oh, okay, wow, cool.
Yeah, I'm nearly 30.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like never had ambition to go do anything.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, what was I thinking about? All these years of just laying about, just wanting to skateboard. But that's all it was. Just like all I wanted to do was go skate.
Yep. Because I see skateboarding as a creative outlet myself. Like the way the creative mind works, it's like the same for skateboarding, except it's more of like a so like an active form of creation. Like you got to interpret. You're interpreting a curve a different way, interpreting a set of stairs a different way. You're seeing things totally different from everyone else. And also as a creative person, you're thinking different from everyone else. So you're going to have this, maybe you're going to be a little bit of an outsider as well. You're going to like manage that. And with the tricks and everything, you're kind of creating with your movement a work of art in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's as much as it's such like a fun thing to do, just like a lot of creative activities. It's like, it's hard. It's one of the skateboarding is probably one of the hardest creative outlets to be like a professional or like earn a living from.
Sure, as a full-time career,
Yeah.
anything kind of like in that field, like filmers, photographers, skaters, it's like, I don't know about like photography outside of skateboarding, but in skateboarding, it's like very hard to like make a
Make any
living
money,
off
yeah.
it. You really need to be like fully committed to it. You need like
For
the
years,
best thing
yeah.
you can do, move to America and
Mm.
start shooting people that brands are going to pay you to take pictures of.
Yeah.
Like, it's the hardest thing to, you can't just kind of get good at photography and then people start paying you.
Yeah.
It takes kind of companies with the money to decide that they want to pay you to take pictures of certain
Yeah.
people and stuff. So yeah, that whole filmer, photographer, and even skateboarder, like, it's kind of, you can be like, I've met the best skateboarders ever and no sponsors.
Yeah. Really.
Like, I don't know what it is, but like, you can't just get good and instantly.
So you can't be, say if you're like amazing skateboarder here in Perth, you're like the
Yeah.
best of the best. Brands aren't going to be hitting you up necessarily. Like you
Like,
need to put yourself out there, or what would you
Yeah, I
say?
think like nowadays you probably have to like put yourself out there a lot more. I think back years ago it was probably a lot easier of like, I guess like like the standard of skateboarding was kind of lower back then, so people that were that good would really stand out and get noticed. But there's so many like skateboarders. The
Huge.
skateboarders nowadays
Yeah.
are insane, like level of skateboarding that
Even like you see the Olympics, and you see there's like teenage girls in the Olympics landing like insane tricks. I'm just like, that's crazy. Like the pros maybe like 5-10 years ago,
yeah
like that's what they were. That was like their best runs.
yeah
These like teenage girls doing it. It's like
yeah
crazy.
it's amazing, like the progression of like female skateboarding
Yeah.
has gone up so much. It's amazing. But yeah, like you'll see like girls down at the skate park that could probably do what they're doing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But like,
But you think
only a
it's
certain amount of people can kind of get.
notice, yeah.
Yeah.
And from the skaters that you have seen that have made it, what would you say they did differently? Like, say they've got all the talent in the world. Was it using social media to post their stuff? Was it trying to get in more skate videos? Was it traveling? Was it meeting people or connecting with brands here? Like,
Yeah, I think probably like a combination of like knowing the right connections, maybe. I'd say like, I'm sure they probably like sent sponsor me tapes.
like
And,
yeah, it's all good. Oh, just a little bit more. Yep, sweet.
yeah, they probably sent like sponsor me tapes into companies and stuff, but I think you kind of got to be picked up to then like have to
Yeah.
gain more connections and like, I don't know, a mix of that and then like social media, putting yourself out there and filming and getting photos taken of you. Like I've kind of noticed that being on the other side of it, like the person taking the pictures, is like a lot of people want to shoot stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of people want to do it because they're stoked on the trick that they want to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously they want to like put it out there on social media and then hopefully they can get noticed and stuff as well.
Okay. But then in terms of the house that you got, that was pretty much through like your laboring work, your like bricklaying,
Yeah.
making enough to get like a bank loan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and my partner, she's got
Yep.
a decent job.
Oh,
She
okay.
makes way more money than
Oh,
me.
okay. Cool.
So yeah, like I definitely wouldn't have been able to go get a house if it wasn't with her as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's nothing really to do with photography. I wish it was. I wish I was doing photography.
I want to be like transparent on this podcast. Like as much as I love the creative industry, creative people, what they're doing, and I think creativity is so much more than money, obviously.
Yeah.
But I like to be sort of realistic as well and like showing that it's difficult to kind of make it as a creative person.
Yeah.
But it's not. Sometimes you can make it. Sometimes you're balancing work with your creative outlet. And I think a lot of people I meet, like, as I was saying, creativity isn't all. It's not all about money. Like, it's keeping you. It's an enjoyment you get out of it as well.
Yeah.
So maybe you're working a full-time job and it's keeping you sane. It's like sane, basically.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like even like my own mental health and stuff. Like after I couldn't skate the way I used to skate, like I just got so bummed out that I couldn't anymore. And then like getting a camera and then having a reason to kind of be out and like push myself to get out.
Yeah.
And like I get as much enjoyment now getting a good picture as I did like landing a good trick or something like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So like I'll still be driving home from like a skate, be like, yes, I got that picture.
Yeah.
The
100%.
same way I would have been a few years ago, going like, yes, I got that trick finally. So like even that sense, like it's definitely good to keep you sane and for your mental health and stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes that is making it as a creative.
You
don't have to be like your full-time job. It's just something that keeping you stoked like every day.
Yeah.
That's what it's about as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Jack, thanks so much for coming on and having a chat. It was really cool to hear about your story and like the behind the scenes of all the photos and everything like that. Yeah, really appreciate it. Where can people find you on like Instagram and stuff if they want to like check out your work?
I believe it's just j.crumblish.
So
Crumblish.
Yep, j.crumblish.
Yep.
I'll leave the link down below. Check it out, guys. Some of the best skate photography I've seen in Perth. Just really insane stuff. And keen to follow along and just seeing all the work that you come up with. Yeah, so appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks